You have your PRS with you for bed bathing, so please open it and then follow along. Okay, so we will be performing the bed bathing. So what will be our first step? So in the preparation part, we will assess. The first one is the assessment of the physical and emotional factors. So if the client is able to participate, presence of fatigue, the emotional factors like for example anxiety and fear, if it will hinder the procedure. Next, you assess the condition of the skin. So presence of lesions, erythema or redness. You also check the skin turgor and the texture of the skin, the color. That's all part of the assessment phase. And then you check for bony prominences like the elbows, the shoulders, presence of pressure ulcers. Next, you're also going to assess for pain because it might hinder with the movement when we do the bed bathing. So if there's a need for you to administer analgesics as prescribed. Range of motion of joints is another aspect of health that may affect the client's bathing process, like the strength, cognition. Is the client aware of what is happening, what the procedures will be doing, and mobility. Now, next is you assemble the equipment. So you have there the equipment and materials that are needed. We have the basin or basin with water. What will be the ideal temperature for bed bathing? What we are doing right now is the complete bed bath. So you have different types of bed baths. What we're doing right now is the complete bed bath. So you will know how to assist the client, particularly those who are unable to do it on their own. So ang mga dependent client kita. So for complete bed bath, what will be, or your complete bed bath is under what type of bath? And there are two. We have the cleansing and the therapeutic. Therapeutic is for medication purposes, wherein medications may be added in the bath. For cleansing bath, that's where your complete bed bath comes in, which is one of the types. So for cleansing baths, what's the ideal temperature of the water that you will be preparing? In degrees Celsius for the unit of measurement that we will be using. 40 to 40, 43, the range. I'm looking for the range. 43 to 46 degrees Celsius. But ideally, for the temperature of the water, if the client is able to, the client will be the one to verify if the warmth of the water is suitable for them. But if the client has a problem with mobility, problem with cognition, then it's the nurse who will verify the ideal temperature that will be used for bed bathing. Okay, so we have the basin. We already have the basin with water. Okay. Did you have basin? Pail. May basin. Okay. Then soap and your soap dish. Linens. We have your bath blanket, 2 bath towels, washcloth, clean gown or clothes of the patients. Additional bed linens and towels if required. Gloves if appropriate, especially for patients with active lesions, then you will have to make sure you protect yourself as well. Then, personal hygiene articles like your deodorant, preference for shampoo, conditioner, and so on. Shaving equipment for male clients, table for bathing equipment, and then your laundry hamper. Later, we will also demonstrate to you how you're going to dispose the linens that are soiled. It should not be placed on the floor. Please take note of that because the floor is dirty. You should place it in a laundry hamper. Now next, you determine the purpose and type of the bath that the client needs. So again, I mentioned earlier, there are 2 types of bath. We have your cleansing and therapeutic. Under cleansing, we have the complete bed bath. We have your partial bath. Ano pa? Bag bath, your tub bath, apil na nila yung sponge bath for infants or newborn. What else? Prepare to harama cleansing baths. You have your shower. Shower is for ambulatory patients. So if they can do it on their own, then it's better because we try as much as possible to promote independence. And what else did I not mention? Towel bath. So for this return demonstration and what you will, demonstration, what you will return demonstrate will be the complete bed bath. So for complete bed baths, that means you're going to wash the entire body of a dependent client. Like for example, ang mga clients who are bedridden or clients admitted in the ICU, if they're unable to do it on their own, then the nurse will be the one to the nurse will be the one to take a bath. The nurse ay magkakariguhan patient. Then, sige, let's proceed with the procedure. So, Ma'am Vivian will be the one to demonstrate. The first one is you explain to the client what you're going to do, how he or she can cooperate, what's the purpose of the procedure. So you discuss the preferences, you will also ask Tia Busto, you explain unfamiliar procedures, anything that the patient can do to cooperate. After which, you do your hand hygiene, you wash your hands and observe other appropriate infection control procedures. So you already did your hand washing, so this time, you will be able to apply your count of 5 method for hand washing technique. It also mentions in your PRS other appropriate infection control procedures. So after hand washing, what will you do, which is also an additional infection control procedure for patient safety and your safety as well. So aside from hand washing, what will you do? After hand washing, magano? Gloves, sterile or clean gloves? Clean gloves is enough. This is not a sterile procedure. So how many times will you do the hand washing? 3 times. So the count of 5 methods, you will count in, so let's review na while we're waiting for Ma'am Vivian. What are the 5 moments of hand hygiene? Before touching the patient? After, during. May ako nababating na during. Before touching the patient. After body fluid exposure. Before clean or aseptic technique. After touching the patient, and then after touching patient surroundings. So those are the 5 moments of hand hygiene. Meaning, those are the times wherein you will have to perform hand hygiene. What's the difference between hand washing and then hand hygiene? Hand washing is with the use of your soap and water, whether it's a bar soap or a liquid soap. And the timing as well. What's the difference between your hand hygiene and then your hand washing? For hand washing, how many seconds or minutes? Ano niya ka na niyo lecture? Pera ka seconds and hand washing. 40 to 60. Hand hygiene is with the use of your hand hygiene products like your alcohol or alcohol gel. How many seconds? 20 to 30 seconds. Okay. For hand hygiene and iba, you might sometimes miss it if at the end of your counting, kay count of 5 method man lagi hapon in hand hygiene, If at the end of your counting, nga mamaraili mo kamot, then you did not put enough hand hygiene product. So dapat, at the end of your counting, mahulos lagi ako na nimo kamot with alcohol. So that means you have to put a large amount of alcohol or hand hygiene product for it to be considered effective. Okay, so Ma'am Vivian is already donning her clean gloves in preparation for bed bathing. You now provide client privacy because as you know, bathing is a private matter. So you draw the curtains. If it's in the client's room, you close the doors. And you may also ask the patient if there's someone that they want that would accompany him during the procedure. Damo ko na meron, ilaw ko atimanhead. So the purpose again one of the purpose for closing the curtains and closing the doors is to prevent air currents from coming in, because your air currents is one of the ways for heat to lose heat. Prepare aton heat loss of that. So, air currents like your electric fan, that's heat loss by, is it radiation, conduction, convection, evaporation? Convection, so that means from warm air will rise and it will be replaced by cooler air. So to prevent that from happening, we will close the door, close the curtains, turn off the electric fan. And then next, you offer the client a bedpan or urinal. You ask whether the client wishes to use the toilet or commode. Why is there a need for us to ask if the client had voided before the procedure?
What happens when your bladder is full? What's the rationale behind that one?
Remember that we will be performing firm strokes over the client's body, so to avoid uncomfortable sensations, you ask the client to void because it will be more comfortable that way. And the sound of the water and warm water pala, it will stimulate voiding, so it will be better for the client to void before the procedure, especially if you're already going to wash the perineal area. It is advisable that the patient will have to void prior to the procedure. Next, encourage the client to perform as much personal self-care as possible. We already mentioned this. We try as much as possible for the patient to be independent. During the bed bath, assess the client's skin carefully and then position the bed at a comfortable working height. So,
ideally, it should be on your waist level. Okay, not like this.
dili kasi yan na rise. So, you adjust it to a comfortable working level. You have to lower the side rail where you are working on. So, Ma'am Vivian is situated there on the right of the patient. So, the side rail at the right of the patient will be lowered down, but the other side rail to the left of the patient should remain up. This is for patient safety. And you will have to assist the patient to move closer to where the nurse is. What's the rationale for the procedure, the step? So this will prevent undue reaching. So, okay. So kindly watch carefully how they're going to move the patient. Kay diri man na ito iya kay move lang ang move. Masay kadusog na di sir. There is a proper procedure for that. So you move the upper portion of the body first, followed by the middle, and then the lower extremities. You place a bath blanket over the top sheet. And then you see the blanket on top of Mr. Terraza? Nasaan na? So, a bath blanket will be placed by Ma'am Vivian on top of the top sheet. And then you will have to ask the patient to hold the top of the bath blanket while Ma'am Vivian will lower down from the shoulders going down the top sheet to remove it. So you roll it going down. The purpose why you are covering the patient with the bath blanket first is to provide privacy. Maraot man liwat kung tatanggalon na nimo top sheet without covering the patient. So this is also for patient privacy. And make sure, if you notice Ma'am Vivian, make sure you bend properly. You bend her knees so that you will keep your back straight. This is for the correct body mechanics. It will help you prevent back strain. So ask the client to grasp and hold the bath blanket while pulling the linen to the foot of the bed. If the linen is to be reused, meaning ang top sheet na, place it over a bedside chair. Tagay kaming chair didi. And then place it on the linen hamper and not on the floor. Okay, alin na. So assuming, let's say, you're going to reuse the linen, so place it in a bedside chair. Don't place it on the floor. If it's not going to be used, then it will be placed in a linen hamper, also not on the floor.
There's a proper way of holding your top sheet, okay? So, it will be shown to you when you perform the technique. Then ito din dapat buwa ka. Hold ko lang.
You will learn later how you're going to fold your linens and how you're going to do the bed making. Okay, next is you remove the client's gown while keeping the client covered in the bath blanket, and then you place the gown in the linen hamper. Ako, ayun na ito. Papalagosan mo yan? Sige.
Before you, if the patient can remove this and is mobile, can use this upper arm, then you let him remove this.
So make sure you still observe privacy. You cover the patient with the bath blanket. If it's the patient's gown and you're going to replace it with a new one earlier, you place that in the hamper. So we will now go with shampooing in bed. I think in your Funda book, there's no shampooing in bed PRS. So please watch attentively what Ma'am Vivian will be doing. So for shampooing in bed, there are different types. If the patient is ambulatory, they can just sit in bed close to the sink. If the patient can also mobilize but should remain in bed, you can move the patient from their stretcher to another stretcher but close to the sink. Pero kung bedridden good talaga ni patient, then the patient will remain in the stretcher and you will have to do shampoo in bed, which is what we will be doing. So Ma'am Vivian will prepare towel. So Ma'am Vivian will prepare the things that are needed. Your towel. We also have your, make sure that the pillow is also removed, which was removed earlier. So the bath towel and then the Kelly pad. the one that Ma'am Vivian is holding on her right, that's the Kelly pad. This is to drain the water. When you pour the water, when you rinse the hair with shampoo.
And for alternative use, if the Kelly pad is not available, dahil naman ko din niya din gagamit yan, you can use an acetate. Okay? An acetate large enough that you can make as a funnel. Parang kami yung funnel, pull up the right. Okay? So you place the towel lengthwise, all the way.
So Ma'am Vivian mentioned that the Kelly pad is no longer used. Sometimes there are some institutions who would still use that, but for other institutions, they may use dry shampoo. Only that the disadvantage is it's drying to the scalp. And purpose kasi yan natin Kelly pad is to drain the water. And you will notice it earlier that it requires a lot of effort from the nurse. You're going to prepare a lot of equipment if you use the Kelly pad.
So that her neck, his neck will be elevated, and then dapat kasi yung Kelly pad, inflated din niya. Okay, para next to yung patient, naka-elevate. So, since this is flat, okay, we'll just place a towel underneath. Okay?
So you place a rolled towel underneath.
Comfortable ka, sir? Comfortable? Okay na?
So the frequency of shampooing is highly dependent on the patient. For us here in the Philippines, everyday good talaga kita nakarigo. Everyday kita nakarigo. For if you're going to go outside of the country, they seldom wash their hair. I know someone, a patient was, the patient was not bedridden, but pero nahiya kaadlaw ang hospital. So the nurse said nga, let's wash your hair. And the patient said nga, why? I just washed it a week ago. Okay. But so for the purpose of shampooing in bed or shampooing your hair is to remove excess oil, dirt from your scalp. The frequency, as I've said, it would depend on the patient. But as much as possible, since the patient is in the hospital, the patient should be clean. So we encourage personal hygiene measures such as this. So the Ma'am Vivian will now cover the eyes.
With a damp towel. What's the purpose as to why we will cover the eyes? And then we will also cover the ears.
So cover the eyes and cover the ears so that no hair products will irritate the eyes and will come in contact inside the ears of the patient.
And also, if your patient has
Sand in their eyes. Morning spa.
Basta may suta or may mga teeth na dry, okay? This is going to soften the area. Okay, and also help the patient relax. Okay, diba? With warm, ideally ha, warm with natin water ha. Okay, iniya kayo. And tap water na natin lang. Okay?
The ideal temperature for shampooing is 40.5 degrees Celsius. The one in your PRS is actually for brushing and combing your hair. For shampooing in bed, if you notice, what I would be a step-by-step procedure. So you have to pay attention to Ma'am Vivian for the step-by-step process. So Ma'am Vivian will now rinse the hair of the patient with warm water. So you will use your dipper with water. Make sure that the water will flow. Since kuan man kita ni, it will flow of gravity. So kung ano ang shape naton kalipad, it will drain according to kung hain niya mahuhulog dito kuan pail naton. In your return demonstration, you can prepare acetate na lagi hapon instead of kalipad. And nakaupay natin acetate kay it will look like a funnel or a tunnel gihapon kay you will have to insert the hair of the patient inside. Make sure you cover everything that you wash or wet the hair completely. That is also a perfect time for you to assess the scalp. Like for example, may dandruff ba? Is there a need for a medicated shampoo? Like in cases when the hair is infested with lice. So you will have to prepare a shampoo that's medicated, indicated just for that. Drain the excess water. And then, beforehand, you ask the patient the shampoo that he would like to apply prior to shampooing.
Sir Matt, what kind of shampoo would you like me to use? The one with the conditioner? The one that's anti-dandruff? 3-in-1? Sad to say, sir, wala kita 3-in-1. Kape man ito, sir. But I will now be applying the shampoo, okay?
Okay, so make sure that the hair product will completely cover the head. And while you are applying the shampoo, make sure that you are also at the same time massaging the head.
Sir Matt, are you feeling relaxed? Na, dapat na.
So you will now, after you have shampooed the hair, you will now rinse the hair thoroughly to remove the shampoo. Since the client is lying down, make sure you cover completely, including the back of the head, the one that's near the neck. So you do this carefully, make sure the patient is not wet. The patient must still be dry except for the hair. So next, you will comb the hair. And later on, you will place the towel and place the towel snugly around the client's hair. So you remember the towel that was placed under the patient's head prior to the procedure. So that's the one that you will place around the client's hair. Make sure it is snugly fit. It will remain there until you are done with the bed bathing. Make sure that you remove the earplugs that was placed on the patient's ear after you're done. And remove the towel that's covering the patient's eyes. Because next what we will be doing is washing of the face.